Hey, it's Keisha, Black Girl Bypassed, and I am back with another video. Hey guys, this is Keisha. Welcome back to my channel. I'm also on my liquid diet, and your girl has been parched. So, I'm gonna drink my water and talk to you. In the last video, it was kind of just an introduction to who I am, what I'm doing here. As you all know from the video before, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a short video. Today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about my process. I've told a few people and about my plan and what's going on. Every person has been like, have this idea that you just one day decide that you're gonna have weight loss surgery, and bam, you go to the doctor, they put you on the table, and you're skinny tomorrow. And although we all wish it was that simple, it is definitely not. I started looking into bariatric surgery a few years ago, like maybe 2018-ish. And I was very gung-ho. I was younger, and I was like, I'm ready to do it. Let's do it. So I've been working for the same company for about 10 years. So I found out from my insurance if they covered it, and they did cover it, but only one surgery in a lifetime. So they're like, we cover it if you meet these qualifications, but we'll only do it once. So I was like, okay, that's something I can work with. So I started looking into it. I started doing the process. I was going to the appointments. I was checking the boxes, And then I started getting all of this negative feedback. So people were like, oh, I heard such and such did it and she died. Or I heard that if you do it, then this will happen to you and this will happen. And before I knew it, I had let all of people's negative vibes affect me. And I was like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe there is a better way. Maybe I don't need to have surgery. Because, I don't want to die. Like, that was what was coming to my brain every time. Was, oh, well, such and such said that somebody died. And is this weight worth me dying? Not thinking that if I keep living the lifestyle that I've been living and keep gaining the weight and not doing anything about it, your girl's gonna die. I mean, not to laugh at it like that, not that it's a joke, but people don't understand that being unhealthy, being obese, being morbidly obese, is a high risk situation. You could die. And not that we're comparing apples to apples here, but I was in a situation where I was putting my life at risk. So I had decided, like, okay, sorry, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Don't want to die. I'm gonna try another way. So a few more years went by. I didn't do anything. I was just stuck. But I had made I had relocated for work, and I was like, okay, I'm doing things different. I really want to get back to pursuing my healthy living journey. And in doing that, I moved to an apartment downtown in the city, and it was very close to a bariatric center. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna just check them out. So I go to check them out, call them, and have you do this little video. Come to find out, So I sent them all my info, and that particular bariatric center was like, your insurance doesn't cover bariatric surgery. And I'm like, they definitely do. Like, I've called them. I've had the same insurance for the past 8 years. Like, I know that they cover it. And the lady that was helping me from that particular center was like, no, they don't. They don't cover bariatric surgery. And so at this point, I was like, forget it. It's just not in the cards for me. Like, I am not meant to have this surgery, you know? And then one day, I was looking on Facebook at a bariatric group that I had joined when I was considering the surgery the first time. And in this group, a lady that I worked with had posted, and she was kind of like showing her results. And keep in mind, I knew this lady, but not very well, but I had noticed that she was like losing weight. But I'm a person that's like, I'm not going to be in anybody else's business because I don't want anybody else in my business. And so, of course, I didn't ask like, oh, I see that you've lost weight. I just kind of like, but then when I seen her on this bariatric Facebook page, I was like, I'm going to ask her about it because why not? Like, she's posted on the Facebook page, so she must be okay with sharing this information. So the next time I seen her at work, I was like, I pulled her to the side. She came to my office, and I was like, hey, I'm really not trying to be in your business. So if this is too much, you can always say no. You don't want to have the conversation. And she was like, oh, no, there's nothing that's too much. I was like, that's all I needed to hear. So I was like, okay, so I've been considering weight loss surgery. I saw you on a bariatric Facebook page, and I was just wondering if our insurance covered that, because her husband is also in the military. So I was like, maybe she's using her husband's military insurance. Give me a second. I need some water. And she was like, oh yeah, I use my state insurance. We work for the state of Kansas. She's like, yeah, I use my state insurance, and I went to blah, 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 and it was great. And I was like, oh, okay. So let me know where you went, because the place that I went was not trying to mess with me, you know? She was very sweet. She was very kind. And she gave me the information of the bariatric center that she went to. And she was like, it was very convenient. They schedule all your appointments in advance. All your appointments are at one place. They're very helpful. So I was like, bet. So she gave me the info. I Googled KC Bariatric Center, which is where I've been going through the process. And you can't just call them before they schedule anything with you. You have to do this little online tutorial video of the different surgeries. So I did the video, and then at the end of the video, they ask you like a little comprehensive quiz, like, what is this and what does this mean, and to see if you really watched the video, you know? So I answered the questions, and then it brought up like a contact form. So I filled out the contact form, and literally, I did this at like 12 o'clock at night. Literally the very next day, that very next morning, someone reached out to me from the bariatric center, KC Bariatric Center, which is an awesome place, and were asking me if I wanted to come in for a consultation. So I was like, of course, because why not? Like, what's the worst that could happen? And so the whole time I had been considering the weight loss surgery, I was considering VSG surgery, the sleeve, mostly because whenever you get on like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, people like go in on gastric bypass. They're like, oh no, I could never do gastric bypass. It's da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. And then, oh, I did the sleeve because I can't be having them rerouting my. And I was like, okay, I get. I mean, that makes sense. And then before you knew it, I was like, okay, I'm only doing VSG. I'm not doing the bypass because everybody else had all these many, like, horrible, almost slightly shady. Even now when I get on Facebook and I hear people talk about what surgery they did, it's almost like a slight shade when they talk about bypass. They're like, I did VSG because it's less invasive and I could never with the bypass. I'm like, baby, on the day of the consultation, this particular bariatric center already has you a caseworker assigned. So I go there, the caseworker's assigned, and the surgeon's already assigned. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. So the caseworker comes in, and basically they've already, based off of that contact form that you filled out, they've already reached out to your insurance and found out what your requirements will be for surgery. This is at the consultation before you even have said, yes, I want to do it for sure. They've already found out this info. So I'm like, okay, I like people who are proactive. I like people who are professional and proactive. And that's exactly what KC Bariatric Center was. So the surgeon comes in, and I'm not gonna mention his name right now because I haven't had my surgery yet. Don't know what might happen or what could happen. And I live in an apartment alone, no pets, no people, and something just fell. So anyway, so the surgeon comes in and he asks, so do you have an idea of what kind of surgery you want to do? He asks you some other questions. Why do you want to do this? You know? And so I answered those questions, and then I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to do the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Like, can I ask why you want to do the vertical sleeve gastrectomy? And I'm like, well, it's less invasive. Like, you know, brainwash and start rattling off all these things that people on YouTube said. It's less invasive. I don't want to have to reroute my intestines. I don't want to have all these malnutrition issues. It's like, so the surgeon goes, okay, well, I get that. And the decision is completely up to you. But if you were my daughter or if you were my sister, I would suggest the gastric bypass. And I was like, okay, well, can you tell me why? And then he's like, well, with the amount of weight you have to lose, you'll be more likely to reach that weight goal with the bypass than the sleeve. And then he also told me about the sleeve and a lot of people who have the sleeve, having to have a revision surgery because of either, what's it called? Acid reflux, or some other thing that happened where they gain their weight back and they have to have a revision surgery. So I was like, well, I only get one surgery. The insurance said one in a lifetime. And so I'm not gonna go through all of this and then have to do it again. So I was like, okay. He was like, well, it's definitely up to you to think about. So I'm like, okay. And I don't know, as I thought about it and as I did more research, the amount of people that end up having to do a revision from a sleeve to the gastric bypass is crazy. Like, a lot of people. And then also from what the surgeon told me, is a lot of people do the sleeve because it's cheaper. Not because it's cheaper. Simple as that. So all y'all who throwing shade on the bypass, you just trying to be cheap, sweetie. No, but seriously. And so a lot of people do it because it's cheaper. But he said that the bypass is the old faithful. Like, they have been doing it longer. It's got more research behind it. He said he does the same amount of bypasses in a week or a day that he does the gastric sleeve. And he's like, I can pretty much do it in my sleep. I said, don't go to sleep, but okay. So yeah, I decided to go with the bypass. At the consultation, my particular surgery center, the KC Bariatric Center, gave me my binder, water, and in the binder, it has everything that you're gonna need to know for your surgery. I'm gonna show you my binder. So they give everybody this binder that says your journey starts here. It's so sweet. And in the binder, it tells you, they're like, everything that you're gonna need is in the binder. And so right at the beginning, my caseworker went over with me like who my surgeon is, what my surgery is gonna be. She gave me her contact information because basically everything that happens clerically, the clerical things that happen all go through your caseworker. So she told me like what I'm gonna need. You have to get labs, and you can, for most people, they can do their labs at the bariatric center, but for my insurance, they want you to go to a preferred lab. And so they gave me my lab orders. I had to go to a particular lab that my insurance would like me to go to. But outside of the labs, outside of the labs, everything else, all the other appointments happen at the KC Bariatric Center. So they told me what my labs were. They told me right from the very beginning how long my pre-op liquid diet was going to be. So right from the very beginning, I knew I was going to have a 2-week pre-op liquid diet. And I'll talk to you more about that later. They also told me about how long my medical supervised diet, and when I say diet, I use the word diet very loosely, was going to be. And so some people have to do 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 months, 6 months, whatever. In my case, my insurance required the 4 months. So my medically supervised diet was 4 months. So my consultation was in November, literally the day before my birthday, 2 days before my birthday. I went to my consultation on November 11th. My birthday was on, okay, I can't count. I went to my consultation on November 10th. My birthday is on November 12th. And so 2 days before my birthday, I went to my consultation. And then after your consultation, they schedule all the rest of your appointments. So around the same time in December, January, February, March, I had all my appointments. And they set up your appointments with a dietitian, your surgeon, and a physical therapist for all 4 months. You have to do 2 months with 2 months with a psychologist for your psychological clearance. I had to meet with a sleep specialist. I had to do a sleep study. I had to do EGD, where they they put you to sleep. They go through your mouth down to your stomach with like a little camera, and they get a sample of your stomach to make sure you don't have any bacteria, anything or anything in your stomach that would stop you from being able to have surgery, or if you do, they give you the antibiotic. Yeah, I think there's, and I also had to do an EKG. So I had to do all of those things before, in the 4 months. And then I also had to get certain paperwork and medical documents from my primary care physician to send all to the insurance. So then once you get all of that done, you send your information to your insurance. Well, I was having an issue with mine because I couldn't get any documents of my medical weight from 2019. And so that was, my caseworker was like, if we don't have that, they're not gonna approve you. I was so sad because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get my surgery. And I didn't find this out until my 4-month appointment. So like right at the end, she's like, if we don't get that, you're not gonna get the surgery. I was so sad, but the Lord saw fit. Don't tell me what God can't do, okay? And so I ended up going to like the emergency room in 2019, and come to find out they could use that. So I was able to send all that information to my insurance, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield. And then they called me and told me, you were approved for surgery. I was so excited that day. Like, your girl was excited, okay? And so once I got approved, then actually just yesterday, I went to my pre-op appointment where I had to basically pay my copay and my insurance copay or whatever, which it is what it is. It's an investment that I had to make into my life. And also they gave me like my pre-surgery instructions. So they gave me some soap that I had to wash with the night before surgery, and then the morning of surgery. They gave me this cool little card that says that I'm a bariatric patient and can't eat the same amount of food as other people, and allow me, so if I go to like a restaurant, allow me to order from the kids menu. And they also gave me this little sticker that I'm supposed to put on the back of my driver's license. It's like if an emergency happened, so the paramedics or whoever would know like what kind of fluids to give me or what kind of things that I need for my body after bariatric surgery, which I also thought was very cool because you don't think about that stuff all the time. And if you're in a situation where you can't talk, what better way, right? So yeah, I went to that pre-op appointment yesterday. I'm very excited. So today was the first day of my 14-day, can you believe that? 14-day liquid fast. I made it through work. I thought work was gonna be the most difficult, but I made it. It was cool. But today's only day 1. So I'm typing myself up in my brain because it's day 1 and I still got 13 days to go. And this weekend is Easter. I'm gonna be on my liquid diet during Easter. But it's okay. It's okay, baby girl. It's okay. It's gonna be fine. My family's very supportive, and they will definitely understand if during Easter dinner I have to dismiss myself, because I'm not gonna be eating chicken broth while you're eating macaroni and cheese and greens and ham. Greens, beans, tomato, potato, I'm just playing. And so, yeah. I'm I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want. Oh, one thing I really wanted to say that I really thoroughly enjoyed about the KC Bariatric Center is the physical therapist that they have. So every day, not every day, but every appointment when you go to meet with your surgeon and your dietitian, you also met with a physical therapist. And the physical therapist showed you different workouts to do to build your core, to workouts that you can start doing now and after your surgery to like reduce loose skin. It was awesome. You would go there and you do like a little light workout, and then she show you some like things that you can do to start building muscle in those high risk areas. They also gave me a few resistance bands, which kind of encouraged me to buy like some real resistance bands, which I'm very excited about. I can't wait. I've been actually using them right now as I prepare for surgery. Let me look at my notes to see if there's anything else I want to tell you. Oh, the sleep study. So on the very first appointment, I had to see a sleep specialist. And when seeing that sleep specialist, they have you do a sleep study. You take this little machine home. You put this thing on your finger, this little thing in your nose, kind of like oxygen, but not oxygen. And then I think there was something that you wore on your chest or something on your heart. And it kind of monitors your sleep and, well, not kind of, it monitors your sleep and it helps determine whether or not you have sleep apnea. So they wanted me to wear it for 2 nights. So I wore it for 2 nights, then took it back. And then the day after I took it back, the sleep specialist called me and said, I just wanted to inform you that you have sleep apnea, which I never knew. I never knew that I had sleep apnea. Like I said before, when I had started going through the process to get surgery done before, I did a sleep study and did not have sleep apnea, but it was 2 years prior. So I had to get a CPAP machine. Now, I heard a lot of bad things about the CPAP machine. I have loved my CPAP machine. It helps me sleep great. I used to wake up with really bad headaches, like head throbbing. I don't do that anymore. I love my CPAP machine. And so that was one thing that I kind of forgot that happened very early on in this whole process. And so my process has not ended. Like I told you, my surgery, I just got a surgery date. I will be having my surgery on April the 28th, Thursday, April the 28th. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on that as well. But I just wanted to offer some real content because my first video was very short. It was just an introduction to me, who I am as Keisha. But I hope that this video was helpful for someone else who might be considering gastric bypass surgery or weight loss surgery at all. And so with that, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I would love if you liked, commented, and subscribed to the channel, and especially commenting, because I'd love to like create dialogue with the people who are watching this video. So I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.